was always spicy. The council never let us down.
Important role sometimes in helping us. Even though the kids are often with us here in Washington.
Well, let's stick with EVs because now, I was kind of wondering about with Senator Manchin. He kind of is on your side, but maybe not because he's critiqued the administration about, your interpretation of the Inflation Reduction Act, whether or not, you are reading that correctly as it refers to having that Made in America requirement. What do you have to say to that?
So there's some real differences of opinion on some highly technical questions about how exactly to implement the tax provisions of that law. But to me, the bottom line is this. The automotive sector is going electric, and we want that to happen quickly enough to help us beat our climate goals. We want it to happen on American soil so that we get these American jobs, and we want it to happen in an equitable way that everybody can benefit from. And the biggest things we can do about that are make EVs cheaper to buy in the first place. That's what the Inflation Reduction Act does. It takes thousands of dollars off the purchase price of these cars. And secondly, make sure that we have the charging network to support them. The president set out a goal of 500,000 chargers by the end of this decade. I think we can hit that goal or beat it, but it's going to take a lot of work. We're deploying the funding right now, working with states. By the way, every state, red states, blue states, purple states, all came back with a plan to use those dollars, and they're all going forward with it right now. So I think we can succeed in this EV revolution, but coming from a place like South Bend, Indiana, that was haunted by the effects of the Studebaker car company going out of business there in the 60s, I know how important it is that we win this time and that America lead the world in this EV revolution that is going to happen one way or the other.
But how do you feel about self-driving cars?
Now, these technologies could make us safer, but it hasn't been proven yet that they will. And our focus is not to pick winners and losers in terms of companies or technologies. It's to make sure that whatever we come up with is going to be safer than what we had before. Human drivers don't have the best track record when it comes to safety. So technology can clearly potentially be part of the solution, but it's far from automatic that it's going to meet that potential. And that's part of what we're trying to shape here at the Department of Transportation.
But could the next step be going and holding people accountable like Elon Musk?
Well, certainly whether it's Tesla or any other company, we will always hold them accountable for meeting safety standards. And that's true in terms of all of the work that NHTSA, our National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, does. We call balls and strikes. I view it as something where it's very important to be very objective. But anytime a company does something wrong, or a vehicle needs to be recalled, or a design isn't safe, we're going to be there. And I also have concerns about some of the marketing that goes on. I don't think that something should be called, for example, an autopilot, when the fine print says you need to have your hands on the wheel and the eyes on the road at all times. And I just want to be clear. Any vehicle you can go to a dealer or go as a consumer and buy today, no matter how good the technology, still requires you to pay attention if you're driving.
Well, it's always just good talking to another Hoosier, and I thank you so very much for sitting down with the AP.